Hello, welcome. I'm Pauline from PQW and...
I'm Joey from PQW.
So we're here to get you started with a great lesson plan that we've got for you. It's going to come to you of a Tuesday, and you want to let people know what our title is, Joey?
It's called Toots On Tuesday.
So Toots is for tutorials.
Tutorials, that's right.
Tuesday is for Tuesdays. So it's going to come to you every second Tuesday.
Every second Tuesday once we get going.
Yes. So what it's all about is Joey's new to our team at PQW. Joey has been a dressmaker and seamstress for many, many years, making all of her own garments, but she knows nothing about quilting.
No,
that's right?
That's correct.
So we decided we'll take Joey and all of our viewers on a journey and teach you right from a very, very beginner all about patchwork and quilting.
Absolute basics we're starting with.
Right. So the idea is for Joey to learn as you can learn. And Joey's, I would imagine, as we progress through, you'll be asking lots of questions of me.
I certainly hope so.
Good.
Because I have lots to learn. So.
and there's lots of questions that will come because they're just natural questions. But it's you know, you might come up with a question that I would never have thought of answering because I've not got people asking those questions when we're on camera. Exactly. But having somebody doing it with us, I think we're going to get that interaction nicely. So we're going to start this first lesson with showing you how to choose your fabrics. And I notice you've been in my drawers.
Now, Pauline, I make my own undies. I have certainly not been in yours.
I didn't mean that, Joey. I meant my fabric drawers. Like, you know, in our studio we have drawers full of fabric. So indeed. I can see you've been just fishing through.
I have.
So, you know, and which is great. I love the colours. And I see that you've picked a really, really nice fabric here.
So this is the first fabric I chose, and I really love it. It's got a lot of different colours in it. And I really love these green tones going into these creams. I don't mind mauve. I'm not a big fan, but the rest of the colours in here are just gorgeous, and I think it comes together nicely.
It is a beautiful fabric, and it's beautiful. You know, I bought it a long time ago because I just love the colours. So I'm happy you've picked that colour. But we need to explain to you, I see you've got a lot of other fabrics here.
Well, I'm thinking patchwork, you're going to need to have other things with this fabric. So I've chosen some things that I think may go well.
Okay. And you've done a great job.
Thank you.
You've done a great job.
Thank you. Do I get a gold star?
I think you might.
Oh, one gold star.
But let's see how they work together first.
Okay.
You know, you may earn some gold stars, you may not. You may get some taken away from you. Let's see how it all progresses.
So how do we know? How do we know what goes well? I know that these colours all seem to be represented within here, but how do I know what's going to work in a patchwork situation?
And that's a very good question. And that is one of the major problems with so many people, and I was one of those when I first started. The fear of getting your colours right is a real challenge. You know, because fabric's expensive, because we here at PQW, and I do strongly recommend it, we only use top quality fabrics. I don't want to put all the time into even a cushion or a table runner, and particularly a quilt, if my fabrics are not of high quality. So that's the number one rule for me, is make sure you invest in the right quality fabric, because some are rubbish.
And how do you know?
How do you know? There's a lot of ways to know, but one of the good ways to know that I've found, and you know, like this is my theory, is a lot of the good quality fabrics always have colour bar across the selvage. Now, I believe that when the designer presents to the fabric company that they want to work with, the designer would possibly send the graphics of their art to that company. And then I believe that company would then do some strike-offs to get the colour and everything right for the designer to be happy with it. So I kind of probably think that when they do the strike-offs, which is done on a cheaper quality fibre, I would think, they possibly don't put the colour bars on. But when the designer is happy with it, and it goes to actually the manufacturing of the fabric, the colour bars come on it.
So these are the dyes that are in the fabric itself. So
you did earn a gold star that time, because that is exactly what they're there for. And I find a lot of cheap fabrics never have the colour bar on them, and that's how I identify. You know, we want something that's a nice thread count. It's like buying your sheets. You know, you buy something that's really low thread count with your sheets or your linen, they're not nice to sleep on.
Yeah.
It's like our patchwork fabrics. Buy high quality thread count, because it really does, it works so well for you. 90% of the times the colour won't run. On a cheaper fabrics, the colour runs. On a high quality fabric, your fabric doesn't shrink like a low quality fabric will. So there's a lot of issues in there, but you know, everybody has to work to their budget.
Of course.
They really
that's
do.
important.
So it's an individual choice of how much you invest in your fabrics. But talking about the colour bars, it's very, very important, because this is, as you said, these dots are what has been used to build up this print, which is just beautiful.
And it's sometimes hard to pick these colours out, because this colour here, for example, blends into a lighter colour at the end there. So both of those colours will be represented in these dots.
Exactly. You can see the lighter and you can see the darker.
one.
And then we go through to the really dark one. So they're all there. As with the lilacs and the mauves, you can see they shade. As with the gold and the cream, they all shade. So that is the best way. If you're a person going into a quilt shop to buy your fabrics, and I do encourage people when they're starting to go to a quilt shop, because you've got to get the touchy feel, you've got to get the love affair going. And it is a love affair with fabrics, as you probably know with the dressmaker.
Absolutely.
You walk in and you love a fabric and you've got to make that into a garment. Same with patchwork. Pick out your favourite fabric first, like you've picked out this print. I would then suggest you open it out and you look at this colour bar, and then you go around the shelves and you search for the colours that are blending in with this. And you've got a good selection there. So let's go through and look at some that we think may and may not work till we get your selection. So you get an understanding of how we do this.
So can we start with this one?
You sure can.
So I'm seeing here that this is quite similar. This green is quite similar to that one there.
Perfect.
Maybe a bit between those two.
Yes, which is okay. Any shadings in between work. But the thing I see here is this red. And I don't see it anywhere in here. Now, that could really make the design pop. So sometimes you can have a little surprise like that and it makes it pop. So that is a possibility, but not a definite. Okay. So let's sit this over here.
Pop him over here.
Okay. So next one. So
this one's a lighter one.
Yes.
And I feel like it's very much in this tone here.
It's absolutely perfect. You can see it up here. It's perfect. So if I was going to put that in the selection, and if I was going to make a block, like we're going to start you making a block, in the next episode, you'll be learning to cut and do all of those things and construct a block. I would love this to look as a background. So that makes all the other colours pop, but we don't yet know because we haven't yet selected the other fabrics. So let's put this one aside.
Okay. I like this one because I can really see it's got the gold.
Absolutely.
And it's got the green.
Absolutely. It is absolutely perfect.
I think it's going to really pull things out of there.
It's got a little bit of brown shading in it, where etched with the gold. That's nowhere in here, but I think it works. So I'd be very happy with that to go in there. So let's put this on this pile here.
That one there. So this is a mauve, which...
And you're not really into mauves in a big way?
No. I don't mind it.
It's perfect with this colour, but it's very, it's a very strong contrast. And sometimes a strong contrast is what you need to make that block really come alive. So, but if you're not happy with that, let's put it here with this one. So we start to get a selection of likes and maybes.
And I'm really not sure about this one because I think it's just too different. It's kind of hinting towards these, but I think it's too strong.
Yeah, and it's possibly you're thinking it's not strong because it's a colour you don't like.
Maybe.
And you may
I'm
never
biased.
use that colour in a quilt. I could put that in there quite easy because I could see how it would work. And a lot of the things as we go through this class, I'll give you reasons why I think things like that would work. Like if we put a big triangle into a quilt in a block, a plain fabric like this, once we quilt it, could look amazing because we could quilt it with a different colour thread. We could quilt it with a gold thread or something like that.
That's interesting.
So, you know, and you'll learn these things as we go through, and we might switch some things out that we decide now as we work through the lesson. We might cut out all these fabrics and one doesn't work.
And you're back to the drawing board?
Back to the drawing board. So this is a possibility down the track.
So we'll pop it over there.
Pop it over
just
here.
in case. What about this one?
I'm going to say no straight away.
It has a little gold, I'm seeing, but really the greens, they're not compatible, are they?
The greens possibly are. I think it's this tealy, turquoisey colour that possibly just, it doesn't do it for me.
Oh, okay.
But if you like it, we could try it.
We'll throw that one away.
Okay. Another mauve.
Another mauve, but I like this one. It has that little gold fleck through it, so we're carrying a theme.
Okay, and I think that's what's happening here, what I can see happening, because this one here's got the gold around it, which is the attractive part of that. You've now like two others that have gold in it, which is great because you're keeping, I don't think they're from the same range of fabrics, but they work well together. So, and if you like that mauve over these other two mauves, that would be your pick.
So we're getting close to having a...
Yeah, well, we want to pick 4 fabrics to start with.
So including this one?
Yes.
So we have 4 there. I had a few more here that I'd pulled out of
let's have a quick look
your
at them.
drawers.
So here's another gold one. You're after a really gold. You're going gold because you want gold stars, don't you?
I like my gold stars.
Well, I wonder how many other customers are going to build up gold stars. Do you think they'll learn?
I hope so. Let's have gold stars.
We need to see what you're doing so you can earn some gold stars. You could use that as a background, but I think there's going to be a very strong contrast that you may not like as in your first block.
And now looking at it with these ones, it's too yellow to me.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Even though it's showing up here, I think I would
overall,
reject that. Yeah.
Chuck that away.
And that one works. That works because...
So that's less of the yellow.
Yes. But what do you feel about this tanny, muddy?
I think it kind of looks dirty, especially if we put it with these.
Yep, you're right.
It just looks like, I've got to wash that.
Yeah, exactly.
Throw that one away.
Okay. And you've got some prints. What do you think about that?
Too white, I think.
I think you could get away with that, but I think it's too busy a print, particularly if we use it in the outside pieces in the background.
Because we have fairly busy prints already.
Yes.
Okay, that one's
out.
Out.
Out
it goes. No, this is out.
Oh, that's good.
I like that.
That's good. Now, and this is good that you've put this in, because as a beginner, I probably would not suggest this one. Because when we cut out our triangles in the block you're going to construct in the next lesson, or the lesson after, whenever we get to that, this is very directional.
Oh, I see.
So you would have to be, as a beginner, so careful the way you cut this out.
So it's a good choice for colour.
Absolutely.
But
perfect.
for somebody who's starting out, it's probably best to avoid.
Yeah, and like we'll cut some of these out and apply it in the block when we construct this, and we'll explain and show you what it looks like in the position I would think it would go in, how it spoils the overall effect. So I would say we're going to keep this one in our little collection. We will use it, but it possibly won't go in the project.
It might get rejected.
But it might come in as a sashing or a border or a binding.
It would be nice as a border.
It would be perfect as a border.
As long as you cut it well.
Exactly, which means if you cut it with the design, you need to buy a lot more fabric. But it could be perfect for the binding, because this cut on the bias as a binding could look fabulous. So we're going to keep that in the collection.
Excellent.
And I know I've got a lot more of this fabric, so I think it will end up in the project, but not in our blocks to start with. So let me just show you now, Joey. We've got your fabrics, I think. Are you happy with that?
Well, yes, I like what we've done. So is there some sort of a rule about the tones that you use when you're trying to put something together? Are you trying to get a balance of something?
It's another great question. Another great question.
Oh, another gold star.
Come on, we can't have too many in the first class. But the thing is, we look for a light, a medium and dark because we really need to get the eye dancing across the project. We want to have colour balance. Mm-hmm. We want to have print balance. Now, I think you've done a pretty good job here with print balance. You haven't got anything that's going to scream out, that's going to get aggressive with each other, as we say. But we've used our colour bar to get the balance of colour to help us, but now we need to see whether we've got enough light, medium and dark. So this is where we bring the colour balance tool in. This is a little tool that we've put together here at PQW.
So what can it possibly do? It's just red.
It's red, but it does filter the colours for us. So if we put this over the top, let's go back to this one. So when we look here, can you see by looking through here?
I can see that there's light.
Yes.
Medium and dark.
Exactly. So in that print, we've got our lights, mediums and darks. We've pulled those colours through. When we put this on here, can you see what's happening?
Yes, yes. We've got our light.
Yes.
This is a medium, and I think this is a light as well. And our dark is in this
really, this one here works between the medium and the light. So it's going to be okay. And this is definitely your dark. So this is a great little tool. It's got the little heart in it. You know, that's a love heart because we love quilting.
Because we love it.
But it allows us to look at the colours.
So you can see without the filter.
So I can put this heart here and I can see all my colours through the heart, but I can filter them here. So that's why the heart's in them, as well as you can hang it up and do all sorts of things with it. But I find this is an excellent tool. This is what's got me through most of my quilts. When I open these drawers and start to choose the fabrics, my fabric drawers, when I do that, I often throw them out on the table. This is the first tool I pick up. So this would be a beginner's tool that I think is really necessary for you to have. So you need to start to get your tool collection together.
I do indeed.
But
that'll be number one.
Yeah, number one. But each lesson will cover a specific topic. So next lesson, I'm going to introduce you how to fold your fabric, how to cut, fold and press. That's very, very important. We don't want wastage, okay? It's too expensive to waste. How to use your rotary cutter properly and what would be the right cutter for you to use. How to use your rulers. So we'll cover that. And then in the third lesson, we're going to actually cut out a block using templates.
Sounds like fun.
So, and we'll then, as we go through, we'll build the blocks at the sewing machine so you get to learn how to match your points perfect, how to press your seams so that everything sits together nicely and how you can build your block to the right size. Then we'll take you on the journey of teaching you to quilt each block. And then in the end, we'll teach you how to join it together in different quilt as you go techniques.
And make a whole quilt.
Well, we don't know whether we'll get a quilt built or whether we'll build individual cushions, individual blocks, how we'll build table runners. We might do all sorts of things. We'll just explore as we go along. It's whatever you want to learn. And we'd love our viewers to put in the comments section or email us what you would really like to learn and any questions, because you've asked some good questions.
I might not have all the questions though.
That's right.
It depends on individual experience, doesn't it? Some people might have completely different questions.
Exactly. And like I struggled because I basically taught myself and I made every mistake in the book. But learning how to fix those mistakes has helped me be a better quilter. So hopefully I can help you not be challenged with a lot of those mistakes by teaching you the right way to start with. So
sounds fantastic.
Welcome to our class, everybody, and we hope you're going to join us every second Tuesday
for Toots On Tuesday.
So we'll see you next time. Bye for now.
Bye.
Now, before you pick it up, I want you to have one of your fingers between the two layers. Because this is going to allow you to adjust the grain line
Like
on the
this?
fabric. That's it.
Like this?
Now, oh, Joey, where am I?
I can't help it if you're
The
short.
I'll stand over here.